Italy is where civilization forgot to stop being beautiful. Where every cobblestone leads to a masterpiece, every meal is an event, and every hilltop town looks like it was painted by someone who couldn't stop crying at the view. While the rest of Europe built the monuments and moved on, Italy kept layering them. The Roman ruins beneath the Renaissance palaces, beneath the Baroque churches, beneath the Michelin-starred restaurants. We're talking about the country where the pizza was invented in Naples and perfected everywhere. Where the gondoliers still navigate the canals in Venice. Where the cliff villages cling to the Ligurian coast like they forgot gravity existed. And where a single road trip through Tuscany feels like the greatest film ever made. This isn't the Italy of the tourist clichés. Well, it is. But the clichés are clichés because they're absolutely true. So loosen the belt, charge the camera, and prepare for the most beautiful country in the world. Rome is the eternal city where 2,800 years of civilization, the Colosseum, and the Vatican create the world's greatest open-air museum. The city layers the ancient ruins beneath the medieval churches, beneath the Baroque piazzas, creating the archaeological timeline you walk through daily. The Colosseum held 80,000 spectators for gladiatorial combat in 70 AD. The Vatican museums house the Sistine Chapel, where Michelangelo painted the ceiling lying on the scaffolding for 4 years straight. The Trevi Fountain receives over €1 million in coins annually. The Pantheon, the best-preserved ancient building in the world, has stood unreinforced for 2,000 years. The Roman Forum was the center of Western civilization. The aperitivo culture means the drinks come with the free food. Visit from March to May or September to November for the ideal temperatures, avoiding the summer crowds. Have you tossed the coin in the Trevi Fountain in the Eternal City where every cobblestone covers 2,800 years of civilization? Florence is the Renaissance cradle where Michelangelo's David, the Uffizi Gallery, and the Brunelleschi Dome create the world's greatest concentration of art in the single city. The Medici banking family funded the Botticelli, the Leonardo, and the Michelangelo, simultaneously transforming the merchant city into the artistic capital of the world. The Uffizi Gallery houses Botticelli's Birth of Venus and the Primavera in the same room. The Accademia displays the original David, the 17-foot marble masterpiece carved from the single block. The Duomo's terracotta dome, engineered in 1436, remains the largest brick dome ever constructed. The Ponte Vecchio Bridge has housed the goldsmiths since the 1593 decree banning the butchers. The Florentine bistecca weighs the minimum of 1.2 kilograms. Visit from April to June or September to October for the ideal conditions, avoiding the summer heat. Have you stood before Michelangelo's David in the city that single-handedly invented the Renaissance and changed the art forever? Venice is the impossible city where the 118 islands, the canals instead of the streets, and the gondolas create the floating masterpiece that should have sunk centuries ago. The city was built on the wooden piles driven into the lagoon mudflats. The engineering miracle sustaining the marble palaces for centuries. The Grand Canal curves for 3.8 kilometers, lined with the Gothic, the Renaissance, and the Baroque palaces. The St. Mark's Basilica features the Byzantine mosaics covering 8,000 square meters of the ceiling. The Doge's palace connected the political power to the Bridge of Sighs, where the condemned prisoners glimpsed the last view of the city. The Rialto market still sells fresh seafood daily. The Acqua Alta flooding reaches St. Mark's Square regularly as the city slowly sinks. The Murano glass-blowing tradition continues for 700 years. Visit from October to March for the dramatically fewer crowds accepting the fog. Have you ridden the gondola through the canals of the floating city, where 118 islands defy the logic of engineering? Amalfi Coast is the cliff-hugging drive where the turquoise water, the lemon groves, and the pastel villages create the Mediterranean fantasy that inspired 1,000 postcards. The 50-kilometer stretch of the Sorrentine Peninsula earned the UNESCO designation for the landscape where the mountains plunge directly into the sea without apology. The villages of the Positano, the Ravello, and the Amalfi cling to the cliffs, requiring the boat, the bus, or the nerve-testing narrow road to reach. The limoncello is produced from the Amalfi lemons growing on the terraced gardens above the sea. The ancient Republic of Amalfi once rivaled Venice and Genoa as the Mediterranean maritime power. Oh, the Villa Ruffolo Gardens in Ravello inspired Wagner's Parsifal. The summer traffic makes the coastal road nearly impassable, requiring the early morning drives. Visit from May to June or September to October for the manageable crowds and the warm swimming. Have you navigated the cliff-hugging road where the lemon groves and the turquoise sea create the Mediterranean masterpiece? Milan is the fashion capital where the Last Supper, the Duomo Cathedral, and the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele create the combination of the style and the cultural substance. The city operates as the economic engine of Italy, producing the fashion weeks, the design fairs, and the financial industries simultaneously. The Duomo di Milano took nearly 6 centuries to complete and features 3,400 statues, more than any other building in the world. Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper, painted on the refectory wall of the Santa Maria delle Grazie, survives, despite the deterioration and the World War II bombing nearby. The Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II, the world's oldest active shopping gallery, connects the Duomo to the La Scala Opera House. The aperitivo tradition offers the elaborate free food spread with every drink ordered. The Navigli Canal District has the vintage markets and the vibrant nightlife. Visit year-round, with the fashion weeks in February and September electrifying the city atmosphere. Have you spun on the bull mosaic for good luck after seeing the Leonardo masterpiece that survived the centuries? If Italy's beauty, from the eternal Rome to the impossible Venice, has you reaching for the passport, then smash the subscribe button. Drop a comment telling us which Italian destination you're booking first.